Alright, this should be live. I'm starting a little bit early. And by a little bit, I mean like a lot bit early. Not really. Couldn't remember if I was gonna start at 3 or not. Not 3. What? 9 or 9:30. Could have just met in the middle and done 9:15. Oh gosh. My throat is killing me today. It doesn't like hurt when I talk or anything. It's just it hurts. If my throat does literally any bodily function it is required to do as my throat, which is a whole lot. Warm liquids are great when your throat hurts. But then, you know, I didn't have perfect control over the temperature of this, so It is a bit hot. That just sucks. I was gonna swap on the right game too, but it doesn't. I hate that glitch so much. Because that is actually really bad. Like, if this run somehow fails, I am so tempted to just reset on the left game. Just for the sake of getting this path back and hoping it doesn't do the glitch there. Alright, I'm taking that with the intention to plan ahead. Because if I swap here to Wheezing, then Wise Glasses are better. They're not great now, but they will be. Alright. Can I play? It'd be nice if I got Fini today. I know technically, as far as odds go and everything, I'm supposed to phase one more time. But I just got a feeling that the next one's gonna be Fini. Because it's been a little bit since the last shiny. In fact, I'm gonna soon be double the encounters I was at when I got it. The left game is not gotten a shiny at all during this hunt. So I feel like soon the left game's probably gonna pay out, and it might be Fini even. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I think it'd be funny if somehow I got extremely lucky and both games got the shiny at the same time. I love hot chocolate. Oh, I gotta think about a schedule of how I'm gonna want to do things going forward. Well, I already know I can't do Mondays because I have prior commitments on Monday nights, and, well, maybe. You're kidding. Okay, that's fine, I guess. But you're kidding, right? That's 2 times in a row the right game got the glitch that doesn't let it switch. That is annoying. Yeah, I might actually be able to do Mondays because the thing I do is pretty late. And it's so late, in fact, I think it would be after I do streams anyway, so I might even be fine to just do them Mondays. Oh, right. Yeah, flip over to the second game. That Sigilif is genius. It gets one shot. Yeah, you know what? That you deserve that, idiot. We're fighting a water type. I should set up rain. What did you think was gonna happen? If I lose this run, I might actually just reset the path because it's a good path. It just is getting screwed over by the glitch. Like, we could have had a Whimsicott in this fight, but no. Okay. Venoshock would be great, but it needs to be poisoned. Quick Claw on a Moongus is actually way better than I thought. You know, that works. That is so close. I just need a little bit more damage. I need like a priority move or something. Or hope Quick Claw activates? What's the play? Because, like, I think I can eat another attack, so I think that's a given. Just eat the next attack. And just hope something might outspeed before I even need to do that. Like, if I eat a max geyser, then yeah, okay. Doesn't even matter. Purely hypothetical. Alright. First one of the day, kinda. No. 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 I think 68 is where I'm gonna be at double what I was at the last time I got a shiny. Well, all these suck equally. I'll take Phalanx because I like it. You had two options that were great. Perfect for what we were doing. And you said, no, I want the other one that's bad. That's 3 people that need to swap on a path that probably doesn't have 3 swaps. Yeah, no. So, someone gets the bad stuff, I guess. Now, hopefully if it doesn't glitch or anything on me this run. I'm gonna be able to have, like, hyper control. Perfect. There. Let's hippo. Been waiting all day for this. Yeah, I did start a little early. I think I had the stream scheduled like a whole half hour earlier than I was supposed to anyways. But I couldn't remember when I woke up this morning if it was at 9 or 9:30 for me. And I didn't want to assume the late option and then sleep in, so I just started while I was up. Yeah. I was actually worried because I laid down in my bed for a bit, like around 2 a.m., 2:30, something like that. And I kind of ended up falling asleep. I woke up and I went into full panic mode because I'm like, oh no. I've slept past 9 a.m., haven't I? I looked and it was like 7, so I was like, oh, okay. Now, that being said, I am 100% getting actual sleep after I finish this because sleep is important. Just felt like doing this because why not? My throat was killing me today as well. It's fine for talking. I can talk just fine. It just really hurts. I don't know if it's like mucus buildup or whatever. Probably before I go to bed or whatever after this, I'll look into doing something that might help me. I don't know, like drink tea. Usually when my throat hurts, I drink tea. I'm not a big fan of tea, but it helps soothe my throat, especially if it has like honey in it. So usually, even if I don't like it that much, I'll be able to force myself to consume it because I know it's good for me. Maybe not good for me, but it's gonna do good things for me. Yeah, we'll put it that way. Chimsy. That was the most frustrating thing ever. One time you were supposed to have a whole day to yourself, but you woke up at 9, blinked, sun was 2 p.m. You was the entire day sleeping. It's annoying when it happens. Fortunately, it doesn't happen too much for me because, like, oh no, I'm not really in my bed much. The only times I'm ever really in my bed are when I'm planning on going to sleep or waking up from being asleep. So typically if I'm in the bed, I'm already intending to sleep. I also need to fix like my internal clock because I used to be pretty good about just waking up exactly when I needed to. But with me sleeping at such random times and waking up at also random times, it's not really helping me. But my body kind of knows how to like not oversleep too much. Cause like it's very easy for me to wake up, be like, nope, 5 more minutes, go sleep for like 2 more hours or whatever. But it gets to a certain point where like every time I fall back asleep, it's only like a minute long maybe. This is annoying. Why did it have to do the glitch? It did the glitch on the one time where, okay, thank you, they didn't swap. The one time I actually wanted to swap during this entire run is the one time I wasn't allowed to. You always try to wake up early, but then you usually just accidentally go back to sleep. That's fair. I do that a lot. Like my alarm for school, it's set to go off first at like 4 a.m. And then it goes off again at like 5, then 6, and then once more at 7. But the 7 a.m. one I'm probably going to have to get rid of because my classes are going to start at 8. And with how long it takes me to get there, I need to be up and out of the house by 7, really. And also for some reason, I set like all the alarms after like a 4:31. Like I increased it by an hour and also a couple minutes or whatever. So I guess inconsistency. I don't know. Also, no, you did not mess up my sleep schedule. My sleep schedule is just always messed up. I do whatever I want whenever I want. Sometimes I sleep even if I'm not tired just because I'm like, I should sleep to keep some kind of consistent schedule. Those never end well because if I do fall asleep, it's like maybe an hour or two. And I'm right back up. But at least I'm putting in the effort to sleep. So, it's not my fault. Yeah, that wouldn't have happened if it let me switch to the Chansey. Just saying. Look, thank you. I appreciate it. I did. I read that like right before I went to bed because I looked over at the chat for this because I had it pulled up so it was ready for me to start today. And then I went and checked that. I appreciate it. I assume that's supposed to be Blacephalon, but it got like horribly auto-corrected or something. Anyways, good luck on your hunt. Hopefully you get what you want. And fast. What's the fun? Okay. Let's go. I was right. My instincts still hold up a bit. There was a point where I was very good at like even if someone made typos or whatever or got auto-corrected, I could typically tell based on what the word they sent was, what the Pokemon is they meant to say. I'm not as good at that anymore, so it's more of guessing. Oh, Quick Claw. Boom. Nintendo 64. Let's Hippo. Yeah, the let's go autocorrect or what? Was it autocorrect or a typo? I see my memory is bad sometimes, so I can't remember things that happened literally like a couple hours ago. Alright. No. 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 Thank you. I did not want another Chansey. And no. No. I autopiloted too much. Hold on. Big stupid idiot did a big stupid idiot. We have to wait for the game to load back up. On Switch 1 hardware, by the way, so this is going to take even longer. Give it a second. Boom. Got the path back. I would have been fine to not reset there, but I wasn't about to do what I did for Tapu Lele again, but for Solgaleo. So I'd much rather just... Okay, they're not gonna connect, I have a feeling. Yeah, so it might not be able to chat as much just because you... Hey, it's fine. Shiny hunting's fun. Oh. Right when I was about to quit out, too. It always does that. It'll take forever, so I'm like, oh, they're definitely not going to pair with each other. And then, like, last second, they actually pair with each other. Take Rotom. Take Rotom. I hate you. I'll do that. Both ways had something good at one point, so it didn't much matter. The only issue I got is I think the two things I took with my games were things that are actually going to be good. So I can't control the AI this run. Darn, I was hoping I could get a peek at what its ability might be. Because it's either Levitate or Heat Proof, I'm pretty sure. Unless it has another ability. You injured yourself today? What'd you do? No, I always hate fighting Bronzong and Bronzor because, you know, they either have Heat Proof or Levitate. So it seems I always have a Ground type ready when it's Levitate, and I always have the Fire type ready when it's Heat Proof. I never get lucky enough to have one of those two on hand and then fight one that can actually be damaged strongly. Hurt your ankle doing gymnastics and you need an ice pack for the last 2 lessons even though it hurt. That sucks. Sorry that happened. If ankle, finishes also it's a double wound. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, it was levitate, so I'm sure what's its face that Martin has. Sandaconda? Yeah, I bet that felt real proud. I believe I do. I don't know if you want me to say it or not, but I do, I think. I think I'm clear. I was about to say, I think I'm thinking clear enough for that. But as I'm saying that, I say my words wrong. So maybe my brain isn't okay. Maybe I need to play that game of Tetris sooner. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, that'll be my little thing. It's Christopher Chesman, right? Is that how you say it? I think I'm right. I'm always right. That's not true. Don't trust me on that one. I'm wasting my rising voltages right now. Did I use decorate on the Cofagrigus? I'm stupid. I hate you! Why would you take my lightning rod? That just makes it harder for me to do things. Okay, AI is dumb. That exact Pokemon in one of the battles I had against Tapu Fini proved exactly how you can use skill swap. It was great, but now it's doing stupid stuff with it. Like, what? You don't realize this. That's my only attacking move, and I now can't do damage because you're just eating my damage output. I hate you. I genuinely hate you. And I actually want to knock it out now and just take a death just so I can do damage again. Accidentally brought a Pokemon that ability to max rate damage to build it. Wow. I mean, the ability itself is fine, and, you know, actually, it's even better if you're in the situation where you have at least one person who's using moves that are, like, weaker with the intention of supporting you by raising your special attack and everything. But what gets annoying with it is when stuff like this happens. Someone who can't even take advantage of its benefits just stole the ability. Oh, and you're giving it back. No, because you got mummied, didn't you? I don't get it. I don't get what that thing was up to. But it sure was stupid. can see that, yeah. Hope I get a shiny. I hope I get a shiny soon too. Hopefully I should, because not this one, but the one after, I will be at double the encounters I was at when I got the last shiny, which already is over odds because, you know. But also, the left game has not had a shiny this entire hunt. So, what I really hope happens is within the next few, like I'm hoping this stream, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get another shiny. It's gonna be on the left game, and it's gonna be Tapu Fini. The game is holding back on giving me shinies, specifically on my left game, just so it can get the Tapu Fini. I think the game is gonna be nice and give me an under odds Tapu Fini, because my last hunt went to like almost 400. So, I think I deserve some under odds hunts. One of my favorite things to do for Dynamax adventures and stuff, since, I don't know, that just feels easier to consistently track. What I like to do is I will look at someone's history of hunts. I'll add together the total encounters for all of their hunts, and then compare that to, like, on average, if you did get your target every 100 and on the 100th exactly, you know, how many total encounters you should need to be at to figure out if they are still over odds or if they've gotten under odds. You know, fun stuff. And I'm 100% over odds already still in terms of like getting 2 legendaries, just because the last one went so long. I don't even think it was possible for this one to be under odds in theory. Now this is theoretically, it is still under odds as far as the individual hunt. But I might see, like, if I combine my Rayquaza plus the 4 Tapus, you know, how many total encounters am I going to need them all in? Yes, this game knows what to do. Okay, Pokopia, that game, that looked so fun. Like, I was genuinely kind of considering getting it, because I'm like, oh, it's like an Animal Crossing kind of game, but with Pokemon. Okay. But then, it's a game key card. I hate game key cards. I'm never buying one in my life. And I'm like, okay, well then maybe I'll just get it digital. I still don't feel like paying like $70 for that. I don't know, I just feel like... See, Pokopia is the stupidest thing that is happening right now, because it's getting priced like a normal Nintendo game, because it technically is a Nintendo game. So they are pricing it in their Switch 2 pricing range. But then it's a game key card. Nintendo literally said none of their titles are ever going to be on a key card. Then they go and do this. So then don't charge $70 for it. Because either it is a Nintendo game and can't be on a key card, or it's not a Nintendo game and shouldn't be worth $70. What are they doing? And they're trying to incentivize it. Like, if you pre-order it, you get a Ditto plush, which is cool. But I can already get a Ditto plush. So yeah, long story short, if anyone was looking forward to me playing Pokopia for like a playthrough movie or as like a chiller stream, that's probably not happening. Unless between the time it takes for that to release and now, it for whatever reason gets changed over to being a physical game for real, then I'll buy it. Sure. Like, I'm okay with paying that much if I'm actually getting something. I'm not getting anything. It's buying a digital game, but with extra steps, because you need a physical card in your Switch to be able to play it. I'm not buying that. Anyways, new rant. Video game systems and stuff. I've been looking into getting system stuff, and first of all, I just want to say Pokemon games are way overpriced. And something else that follows that, I've seen so many fake reproduction cartridges of like black and white. Oh, I finished another one. Let's go. So many reproduction cartridges of Pokemon Black and White that are reproductions, and half the time even they're the ones that just have the game loaded off of an SD card that's plugged into a bigger DS card style thing. And what people will do is they sell that, and like I saw one listed as memory stick version or whatever, or memory card version. It's like, that's not a real thing. You're acting like you have something that's like a special edition, and you're just scamming people. And it's stupid because you can't even get all your functionality out of it, because half of the game relies on the IR sensor, which reproductions don't even have. But also the card isn't the right color. Like, it's not the transparent plastic or whatever. So it wouldn't work even if you put stuff in it. No shiny, by the way. I'm mid-rant. I also saw a fake copy of Pokemon Emerald being sold for like $75. Which is stupid. That's like an actual scam. No, I did the thing again because I thought I needed to hit A one more time. Alright, we gotta wait like a decade. So while I wait for the game to boot up, back to my rant. Yeah, I saw a fake copy of Emerald for like $75. And I feel like that's stupid, because either you buy the game because it's just a cheap way to play it and you don't care that it's not real, or you spend the money to get the real thing. Why would you spend extra money on a fake that you can find plenty of others just like it for like way less? It's like an actual scam, and the person selling that, unless they know, well, no, unless they just genuinely don't know it was a fake, they are a terrible person. I hope they step on a Lego. Oh, let me see if I can find it. I don't know. Anyways, I'm looking into getting some more systems at some point for fun. I really want to get a Game Boy Advance SP. Just because I really like the overall feel of that handheld. But, you know, getting a Game Boy Advance SP isn't the hard part. Those are easy to get. The hard part is getting the games I want for it, because I like Pokemon, and we all know how old Pokemon game prices are. So it's safe to say that even if I got a Game Boy Advance SP, I wouldn't actually get much use out of it. I do have some original Game Boy games, so I would at least have a way to play those. I have also been looking at getting a PSP, just because there's some games on it I do want to play. And also it's very nice and small and everything. My only issue is I'm gonna want to mod it, and like apparently the best model to do that is the 1000. So I just have to trust that I can find. I found one that actually is interesting me. I'm looking at literally at this moment. I have it pulled up. It's the 1000 model, which is the one I would like to have. It's blue, which is my favorite color. And apparently it's tested, new battery and charger, cleaned. So, you know, good reviews. Seller has good reviews. It does come with like a third-party charger. I don't think that matters too much. But yeah, I'm like genuinely tempted. The only issue is it's like $100. And fun fact, I literally just sat here and spent like $140 not too long ago to get a PS3. So I really don't want to spend this much money on a system again. So I want to wait. And I was tempted to get a handheld that was like one of those like Android or Linux based. I think the Android based ones are better actually, typically, because of their power and everything. But just one of those emulation handhelds that play older games. I found one I really like that's like Game Boy Advance style, well, specifically SP styled. It's really nice, but the cost of it is about as much, like after shipping and everything, the cost of it is going to be about the same as just getting a PSP. Which makes me think I should just use my money to get a PSP instead, because this gives me zero advantages. I want a clamshell handheld to play stuff like that on the go. Big surprise, I have a modded 3DS. I can literally play any Nintendo game on the go, as long as it's before. I think Summon 64 works, but, you know, like, I can play a good chunk of whatever I'd want to play portably just through 3DS Virtual Console and stuff. And of course, not every game released there, but there's ways to inject the games as artificial ones. You got every Nintendo Pokemon game except BDSP? Wow. Like all the versions and stuff too? Or do you just mean like you have at least one of each one? At least one? Okay. Yeah, I have a good chunk. I mean, I have... Let's see, going through it. Virtual Console, I do actually have Crystal. Going forward, I don't have any Gen 3 stuff. Gen 4, I have a loose copy of Diamond and a complete, put that in air quotes, copy of Platinum. Everything about this copy of Platinum is fake and reproduced, except the actual game. But not just that, it's a reshelled game. The physical chip inside the cartridge is real, like it is the real game. It's not just a ROM, because if you load a ROM onto a card, it has some issues. But it's like the actual game, just everything else is reproduction. Which explains why it was so cheap. They probably like, poor people who would buy this, they're not actually getting anything. I don't know. But anyways, Black and White, I have both Pokemon Black and Pokemon White. I don't have their sequels because they're expensive. Although I'm looking into perhaps buying copies of them. Although if I did, they would probably be in Japanese because English ones are expensive. I have seen some English ones that do appear to be real for pretty fair prices. But I really don't know if they're like actually real or if what they're doing is getting smarter and putting their fakes in black cartridges so that product images appear real at first glance. And like there's an easy way to test that. Literally just ask the seller, hey, can you give me a picture of this but with you holding it up to a light source? If they say no, then it's fake, don't buy it. But if it's real, they should know, hey, it's real. If you just need this as additional proof it's real, sure. I'm here to eat your cheeseburgers? Oh no. Jay went outside, help. Oh no. Oh yeah, I also don't have Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I didn't mention that for Gen 4. Gen 6, I actually don't have any of Gen 6 physically. Actually, no, I do. I have Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, but that's not what I meant. I meant like X and Y. X I have digitally, and Y I have digitally. Although I am hoping someday to buy those physically. And the X playthrough I did in the movie, actually, I am just going to back up that save and dump it onto a cartridge if I get one. Let's see. I have Pokemon Moon. It's in terrible condition. Like, it doesn't have a sticker or anything on it, but I have it. And I have Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, which I would get more of if I had more systems, but I only have 2, so I don't need more than 2 for that generation right now. And then Sword and Shield. I used to have Sword physically, but I gave it to someone who lost their copy. And then literally the second they got home, they found their copy and just sold mine. I don't have Sword physically anymore. These are both digital games running right now. Scarlet and Violet. I have Violet physically. My sister has Scarlet. She never plays it because she doesn't play games and her Switch hasn't been charging forever. But that doesn't matter because Her stuff is still her stuff. I'm not allowed to have. I'm acting. Hold on, I was acting like she was home and would be able to hear me. She's at school. I forgot my break is way longer than theirs. They're already at school. Haha. I could talk bad about my sister on stream. Yeah. She also has a 3DS or new 2DS XL that she lets me borrow sometimes, or did let me borrow when I needed one. But now she just hogs it because it's technically hers. But that makes me mad as well because when I asked for it, it was for my birthday. I said specifically I wanted the purple and silver model, but I knew that was like a special color or whatever. So I was like, if I cannot physically get that, then I'll take a black and turquoise one or whatever. Black and teal, whatever the colors are. So apparently my parents did not communicate their purchases like at all. So what happened was my dad bought me the purple one. My mom bought me the black one. So there we are. Both parents bought me the exact same system, just different colors. And they didn't go, oh, we'll just return the black and blue one and give you the purple one. No. So what they did instead was they went ahead and opened one and just gave it to my sister. But you know which one they gave her? The one I specifically said I wanted the most. So my sister has the purple one and I got the black one. Even though I wanted the purple one. I mean, I'm not too upset about it because at the end of the day, they both did the exact same thing. And if anything, I'm probably more grateful that I did get the one I did because blue is my favorite color again. But I still think it's funny that in that situation, they're like, oh, we'll give the one you actually said you wanted to your sister. No. Why would you not give me the one I asked for? Is it weird that you feel like you'd be a good brother to a sister? I mean, that makes sense. I don't think that's weird to think. Also, yes, there is, I didn't answer this. There is a movie about me playing Pokemon technically. It's not like an actual movie. We should start there. It's like if you go into that expecting like an actual cinematic release, it's not that. It is way lower quality. But there are 3 technically. There are 3 I've done so far. The first one is the Badge Quest video that you commented on. That one's less special because I literally streamed all of those hunts except for like a couple of them were done as sessions off stream. So that video was just done to compile all the reactions from the hunt into one big video. The next one was literally the very next video I did. It was a playthrough of Pokemon X because I knew ZA was coming out and I really wanted to just revisit 6th generation because that was like the one I had the least attachment to. I never really played it or cared about it. So I gave it a replay. So that's what the X playthrough movie is about. And then my most recent one, which was about a month ago, was my ZA playthrough. That one is like twice the length because I just had so much footage. Because keep in mind as well, the Badge Quest video, that was just cutting down shiny reactions and then their corresponding badge, whatever, into one video. That obviously doesn't need too much time. The X playthrough, that's a 3DS game. I don't have a capture card. So all the footage in that is live filmed. Like, if I wanted to, you know, like, it just took a lot more setup and everything to record stuff. So I only really got to record stuff that I thought might be important. So that's why most of that video is just doing gym battles. But then ZA, that is a game, like, it's on Switch too. I have a capture card for all my HD consoles. So that one, I had it hooked up to the capture card, and I was recording almost every second of my playthrough. So that had like over 40 hours of footage, I think, that I had to edit down into like 2 hours. Pacing is terrible. Because I hyper focused on like the first impressions for the first half of the video, it feels like. And then after that, it's like, okay, you know what to expect. We're gonna push through. Anyways, I didn't increment the counter. No shiny. Most of your friends are female? I mean, that makes sense. I mean, not saying, no, not like that makes sense. I don't know how to respond to that in a way that makes sense. Let's start there. What is one supposed to say in response to that? I don't want to say that makes sense because it's like, yeah, of course you would have mostly female friends. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. But I also don't know what I'm trying to say, so that doesn't help. And now for my next trick, I will... Yep, I knew it. The second I was about to start talking about backing out, it loads up instantly. I understand if you said that makes sense. Not the most masculine boy I know, say the least. Yeah, that's fair. I want to get back into doing 3DS hunts, but I need to fix my other 3DS before we can do that. So, you're new around here. I don't think you've seen the 3DS era that was short-lived. Very short-lived, actually. So basically, since I don't have 3DS capture cards, and I seem to collect 3DS systems like Infinity Stones, I only have 2 right now that work, because my first one actually broke. But anyways, that's not the point. Basically, I have a webcam that I set up. It's very inconvenient too, because it's wired, and to plug it up properly, the wire runs right across in front of me. I can't hook it up behind my computer, I don't think. So, you know, I got a whole wire I have to avoid the whole stream, but it just sits there and points at my 3DS stuff. Because I don't have a capture card. It's fun, though. And I think I've done Friend Safari and soft resets in Sun and Moon, or Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, which is fun. I am looking to try some Gen 6 hunting, like in Alpha Sapphire, but first I need to do my playthrough of that. I do still owe that, actually. That's not my next video, but that'll be one of the next videos. That's going to be another big project. That will also be a movie. I love making movies. Yeah, in my X playthrough, I said in the intro to it that it was one of 2. During my replaying of Generation 6, this one was focusing on my experience with the main Kalos games, which are X and Y. Well, I said the main Kalos games. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire are not Kalos. They are Hoenn. But yeah, I'm gonna eventually do my playthrough of Alpha Sapphire. That one's gonna be fun. I need to set it up. But basically the idea is I'm gonna do shiny lock removals, and the whole playthrough is gonna be full of me just messing around doing random shiny hunts. That video is not coming out until at least 2027, I'm sure, because just for context, one of the hunts specifically, and I'll talk about it here, is the hunt for whatever Lottie I get. I think it's Latios in my version because it's Alpha Sapphire. I don't know. Anyways, there's a story point where you get either Latios or Latios depending on your version. But you can shiny hunt that. Only issue is how you do it. You have to save before entering the area, I think. Enter the area, go through dialogue, do a whole battle, and then after that battle, go through more dialogue, and then you can see if it's shiny. So that is a shiny hunt that also involves you doing a full battle every reset. I think the resets are like very long on it. Not insanely long. Like Sun and Moon starters are shorter. Well, that doesn't help because that still makes it sound insanely long. You know, it's not crazy. So, like, if any one hunt makes it take forever for me to get that done, that's probably the hunt. I'm not even gonna lie. I need to upload more on my second channel. I have some ideas, but I just don't have the time. Like, I really want to do another playthrough of Final Fantasy IV. Because of the original 6, the 2D era, pre-7, 4 is actually my favorite of those. Or, if you want to be technical, since I'm in America, it's technically Final Fantasy 2, because that's how we knew it, because they didn't release all the games here, and then they ended up renaming it to 4 once they did, like, I think it was actually the PS1 port, although that might have happened around, no, that wasn't the same time as the Game Boy Advance, because PS2 was already out. I don't know. I just know the PlayStation 1 got ports of almost every Final Fantasy, including the actual Final Fantasy 2 and 5 that were fully translated for us. I think those are like some of the worst versions of the games, though. Like, they're only there if you just had to play them on PlayStation. They also didn't give us 3 because 3 is a foreign concept, I guess. I also love how funny the numbers must be. Because, like, in Japan, they got every single one. So they had 1 through 6. In America, we only got 1, 4, and 6. But they were called technically nothing because you don't add the number 1 to a game's title until after a sequel is out, typically. So we've got Final Fantasy, which is now Final Fantasy 1. Final Fantasy 2, which is actually Final Fantasy 4. And Final Fantasy 3, which is actually Final Fantasy 6. Okay? But then if you live in Europe, you didn't get any games. The Final Fantasy just didn't exist in Europe. Until 7. So I would love to imagine that there's probably at least one person in Europe who does not know how numbers start. Just because Final Fantasy 7 was the first one, they're like, oh, I guess things start at 7 now. I doubt anyone actually thinks that. Because if you're old enough to play Final Fantasy 7 and comprehend it, you're probably old enough to know that it does go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't know what Final Fantasy is? Okay, you might know a character from Final Fantasy though. Hold on, let me try to decide. I'll show his modern render, I guess. Oh, no, I need to save this. Okay, let's hope it's one of those stupid file types. So it might not actually cooperate with us here. Is it gonna cooperate? Yes. This guy. This is Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. 7 is the most iconic one. It's the one everyone loves. If you ask anyone who actually knows anything about video games, they will tell you 7 is literally the best video game ever made. And 7 isn't even my favorite, and I know it's the best Final Fantasy. Like, I like other games, but I know 7 is, like, just really good. I mean, it's getting remakes, so I think that's more because nostalgia farming, and also they know they can milk the popular one. But, like, it got a movie, it got 2 tie-in games. It's insane. Are there any characters in Smash Bros. You might know? Yeah, the one I just showed, actually, Cloud, he's in base Smash Ultimate and also was DLC for Smash 4. And then Sephiroth, who's like the main antagonist of the game, he was also in Smash Bros. He's in Ultimate as DLC as well. Yeah, his reveal was actually really nice if you already had played 7 and knew anything about the game. Because his whole reveal, first of all, was built on the fact that you knew Final Fantasy VII and you knew that was his theme that was playing. But then, you know, he's like, good to see you, Cloud. You know, all this stuff he does. Because his thing is like, no matter where you run, I'll always find you. Because that's like a whole thing with the games. It's like, you can run, but you're never going to escape me. That's like the whole arc he goes through. I'm not going to say exactly how he goes through it, but that's basically what it does. So his whole Smash reveal was literally like, And then there's another character that is also in Smash. He's not a Final Fantasy character, but Sora. Sora is interesting. He's from Kingdom Hearts, which was an RPG, the makers of Final Fantasy, which are Square Enix. It's an RPG that mixes like RPG with Disney characters. So it's a half Disney owned because of all their characters in it. But it's literally Final Fantasy with Disney characters. Like, there are even Final Fantasy characters in that game. Because it's literally just, what if we made a Final Fantasy game, but with Disney characters? So Sora isn't technically Final Fantasy, but the series he came from is literally the child of Final Fantasy and Disney. How am I doing? I'm doing good. We're talking about RPGs, specifically Final Fantasy. Yeah, I love Final Fantasy. It's literally like one of my favorite series ever. Like, I play Pokemon for the cute creatures. I play Final Fantasy for good games. Not saying Pokemon games are bad, but I don't think it takes a genius to know that everyone in the community thinks that Pokemon games are not great right now. I mean, that's true. I would much rather play Black and White than any modern Pokemon game. Like, if I had to replay any Pokemon game, it would be Black and White, just because they're my favorite. Sun and Moon are also on that list. Specifically the Ultras, because I played those first, but any Gen 7 game, really. I think it's funny that my two favorite generations are the ones that didn't get, like, remakes or anything during them. It was instead just the game, in Black and White's case, a sequel to the game, or in Sun and Moon's case, an alternate timeline to the game, with more content. I think I like the story of Base Sun and Moon way better. But I obviously remember the Ultras more fondly because they were the first ones I played. If Alfie wants to switch here, he is my hero. If Alfie gets this, I love this game. Okay. Too much praise. Okay, so on another note, I think I'm a physical attacker, right? I don't know. Anyways, after this one I will have hit 70, which is exactly 10 after. So this will be 10 after I started. So I am at least getting to 80, and honestly I might see if at 80 I'm feeling good enough to push to 100. But I think after this I might do a little mental break, you know, just to make sure my brain doesn't turn to mush. Oh, I was wrong. I'm a special attacker. I lose. Not actually, but like that's just me being stupid. I'm tempted to switch to like my full screen because I have a full screen thing that's literally just the entire main capture card loaded as the screen. But even though I'm the only one who ever goes in my room and uses my computer, I have the deepest fear that somehow someone came in here, went on my computer, went on that slide specifically, and put something there that shouldn't be there. That's not the case. But like, you know, because I didn't check it beforehand, I now don't trust it. Alright, video game tab of the Pokemon official website. Let's see what they have. So Pokemon Go Plus, can't buy that anymore. It's sold out. The Switch 2 bundle with ZA, sold out. Can't buy it anymore. Detective Pikachu Returns, you can buy that. A Sinnoh Champion Team Protection Case for Nintendo Switch. You can buy that. That is very much a BDSP era product. That thing is like 5 years old. Pokemon Violet, Pokemon Shining Pearl, Pokemon Scarlet, Let's Go Pikachu, Sword, Legends Arceus, Brilliant Diamond, Snap, the double pack for Scarlet Violet, the double pack for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, Rescue Team, pre-order with the bonus for Pokopia, and then both versions of ZA. You can't buy Pokemon Shield or Let's Go Eevee on their website. I don't know why. Like, it's not even listed. Like, you just physically cannot buy Let's Go Eevee or Pokemon Shield through their website. Okay, I will say... Oh, I need to bump the encounters. They have some cool, like, decoration items on their website aside from the sitting cuties. So, like, I'm kind of tempted because right now... Oh, I didn't even turn this on. Hold on. You guys can't see this. This is a new thing. Last year, around this time, I had a bunch of money on a gift card. So, one of the things I bought was, like, one of those light things or whatever that, like, has the clear thing that goes on top. And, like, with the way it's etched into or whatever, it, like, will show the color specifically in some areas. But anyways, I got an Eevee light. It's pretty cool. I like it because it's Eevee. Anyways, no. 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 Unfortunate. Okay. Oh, I can't mash. I cannot mash. I'm not allowed to. Okay, there we go. I am going to brain break. I think it would be console. Let's go. Full screen view. You can see stuff. Okay. I have a few games. What do I do for a quick brain break? What would brain break me the best? I'm thinking Tetris because it's a puzzle game. I do have Kirby Air Riders I could play. I'm not playing Pikmin. That takes too much time. I bought the Legacy Collection because it was on sale, and I have not touched it. I played like a bit of the first Mega Man, but like, I suck at Mega Man. Anyways. Tetris. Oh, it starts with plus. Okay. I'm Tetrising it up. No. Okay. I almost made a terrible mistake. I'm actually not that good at Tetris, so... Yeah, okay. I did not mean to put that there, in case that wasn't obvious. Well, I guess I'm committed to this. Oh, it's not the right piece. Are you kidding me? I would play Tetris 99 if I was actually good. But like, I played that once and everyone on there just knows Tetris too well. So it's like, okay. You all are tryhards. Did Sword and Shield get an update? No, unfortunately. I don't think they are either because they're not like in their officially supported games anymore. So, basically, from what I learned when I bought ZA, based on, like, what they showed inside, so, they get a little advertisement, like, they've started doing that with Switch 2 games. They put an advertisement in their games that support online play for Switch Online. And on it, it shows, for the ZA one, it shows all compatible Pokemon titles with Switch Online. But it only shows their currently supported ones or whatever. So like the ones they want you to buy. So for the main game, it shows Scarlet and Violet because Generation 9 is the one we're on. Those are the main games. For the side series or whatever, like the Legends series, it shows ZA because that's the Legends game they want you to buy. And then for remakes, it shows BDSP still because we haven't gotten any more remakes since then. It's probably stupid, but I'm doing that anyways. I don't care. Tetris. This is giving me anxiety. I put that in wrong. I can easily use rewind, but I'm not going to because you can't do that on the official game. That fits in there perfectly. I'm thinking about upgrading some stuff for future videos. One of the things I want to get is some external storage. Just so, one, I have a place to store all the video files while I'm working on video so I don't just use up my computer space. Especially because I don't go into my computer's files enough to then delete stuff once I'm done with the videos that they go with. But also just so I can have it with me portably. So if I'm like got some downtime, I can pull out my laptop and work on stuff. And it's going to be especially helpful with me being in marching band, because some of the away games, if they're close enough, but still like out of state or whatever, we go, and then if it's far enough out, like we went to one that was in like Georgia, I think, or something, we stopped at a hotel and stayed the night. It was a nice hotel too. I liked it. I'm cooked. Yeah, anyways, it would have been really nice to, because I think I was in the middle of working on one of my videos at the time. So it would have been nice to just have the files with me when I was there. This is terrible. Give me better pieces. Oh no, I lose. Alright. Brain break over. Oh, and look! The Switch 2 loads games faster, so it doesn't take... I'm already back in the game. You know, remember the 2 times I had to reset the right game because I was stupid and accidentally saved the path? Yeah. The Switch 1 just loads stuff slower. It's crazy, because like when we had the Switch 1 as our only option to play the Nintendo games for the Switch and stuff, we didn't think much of the load times. Like, yeah, they weren't as good compared to other systems, but it's like, who cares? You know, they work. But now that the Switch 2 is here and plays Switch 1 games this efficiently, it's like, okay, how did we live with it? Like, the long load times in Sword and Shield on Switch 1 that we've been seeing, like, that was just standard. You knew it took a while to boot up. You knew it took time for it to load a bunch of stuff. But, like, now, oh gosh. It's like playing Ultra Sun and Moon. Well, I guess any Sun and Moon game, but most of the soft resetting is done in the Ultras for the legendaries. Yeah, it's like playing that on the new 3DS versus the original 3DS. Original 3DS does support Sun and Moon. It can play them because it's not a new 3DS exclusive. But the games use so much memory and everything when playing on the new 3DS. So when you play on an old 3DS, it has to like actively use up more of its power just to be able to play the game. And of course that does come with some downsides, like slow down every now and then. If things get too intense, the 3DS is gonna die before the new 3DS will, because it's just not as powerful. And also load times are just longer. That's another thing you just have to accept. But like, it works, which makes me happy. Like, even though it is not as good for shiny hunting or anything because of that, it still works. Okay, I'm curious. Home. Is that like the home page, or is this stuff for the home? I think that's just the home page. Okay. What's in the vault? The vault is under construction. The vault is getting an upgrade. It was incredible to see so many fans. We're preparing for Pokemon's 30th anniversary in 2026, and we want to make sure the vault is ready to be part of something truly unforgettable. This means taking time now to build out new stories, deeper product insights, and exciting ways to explore our Pokemon like never before. I don't even know what the vault page of the Pokemon Center website did. Oh yes, the clothing page. Let me see what clothes we got. There was this one Sylveon branded thing I really wanted, but obviously with being Pokemon branded clothing, like certain clothing items are already up there in price, but also having to pay for the Pokemon branding on it, like, yeah, what'd you expect? Trading card game, everything sold out. Okay, not actually this time, but like, no, I don't want that. I'm sending something to my friend now, because I just saw they have a TCG playmat that's like printed with Rayquaza on it, and also has like, it's been cut specifically to match the image, and he is like a big fan of Rayquaza. I think that's actually his favorite Pokemon, and I think it helps as well. His favorite color is green, so I think half the reason he likes Emerald and Rayquaza is because it's green. You've been here the whole time, by the way. I figured. I didn't, because I know you said you were gonna be shiny hunting too, so I didn't think you'd be chatting too much, because, you know, shiny hunting does take focus. There's a lot of cool deck boxes and stuff, but I already have one that I'm perfectly fine with. So they have a bunch of lame stuff, but like anything actually TCG related is sold out, obviously. And I don't think they restock this stuff because they have no reason to. All their stock goes to stores, which probably get them more money. Favorite shiny? Sylveon. I mean, that's obvious. My picture is shiny Sylveon. I'm sure you were expecting a more in-depth answer. But it's probably Sylveon because it just has the right mixes of colors that I like. Because it's got the mostly white, but then with like the blue I like as well. Because like my setup, I can't really show all my consoles realistically, but if you looked at all my consoles, I'll describe them all real quick. I'll go oldest to newest. So oldest one I have, PS2. It's the black PS2 Fat. I mean, that's the one most people had, I'm pretty sure. Okay, next up, the PS3. I have that in black. It's PS3 Slim. That doesn't matter. Let's see, what came after that? Wii U. It's black. Nintendo Switch. It's the OLED, so it's both black and white technically, because it's got the white stuff on the dock and Joy-Con, even though I shelf swapped mine, actually. But the system itself is black. Switch 2, it's black. That's the only color you can get it in. And PS5 is both black and white. So, clearly there's a heavy black and white theming. Even my main 3DS is a black one, because it's the Sun and Moon theme. But then, if you look at, like, the accents that go to these things. My PS2 controller, transparent blue. My GameCube controller that I have for like Smash Bros and stuff, transparent blue. N64 controller, transparent blue. PS5 controller, I have the white one that came with the system still, but I also bought the like sky blue or whatever it's called. So yeah, my theme, well, I do have mostly black consoles because they just tend to look better a lot of the time. My theme is very much black and white when it comes to consoles, and then blue as like controllers and stuff. Although for handhelds, I do want to start getting blue ones, because like GBA SP, or if it ends up being more worthwhile, just get one of those SP style emulation handhelds. I want one of those in blue. PSP that I'm planning on getting, it's gonna be in blue if I get one, I'm sure. Because I just have that kind of thing. I like fitting a theme. There's some cool statues and stuff they have available. But like, I always wonder when I see these, like, is there a difference in how they make some of them? Because like, some of the statues they sell go for, like the Gyarados, that one is like $300. Hisuian, Zorua, and Zoroark, $200. But then there are some that are like, they appear to be the exact same thing, but for like $40, and it's like, okay, well, why is this one 40? But like Steven Stone and Metagross, 65. Like, it does not look like it's made any differently from all the other things you have. What makes the other things more expensive? I don't get it. They also have a lot of their like little pins or whatever, like the ones that come in like those TCG boxes. If you buy the big fancy ones that come with like a big card and everything, they have a bunch of those just generically. They look cool, but I don't know if I want to buy any of them. Like the Chikorita line is one that's interesting. It's only $19 and you get 3 pins. That'd be cool to have. But then for like half the price of what that one just went for, you can get just Meganium. And it's like, okay. So, like, I get it too. Like, the things themselves probably aren't that expensive. They just have to sell it for the price they do, because otherwise, you know, it does not work out to be selling that as a product. But then when it's in bulk, it's like, okay, well, you're paying like the same amount anyways, because they aren't worth enough to charge you $1,000. But oh, this is on my list now. I need to buy this next. Not really. I found the Sylveon Comfy Friends plush, 16.5 inches. It's $45, but like, it's a fluffy Sylveon. I need this. I love how genius people are, because you can see like questions people ask about products, and typically like someone on the staff, I guess like their designated job is to check for questions and stuff. Typically, you know, they'll answer any questions you have about the product. September 2nd, 2025. How often do plushies get restocked? And then they give like the generic, we don't know when this item will be back in stock. That's just kind of how things are. And then September 3rd, 2025, literally a day later. When is it coming back? Okay. How big are Pokemon Center plush? So, you got your smaller plushes. They're like 6 inches to 7 inches. Then you got your Poke plush. You know, those are going to be like 7 3/4 inches to 14 inches. Although I just realized if I am doing something like that, I should probably use this. Well, this is going to be, it's centimeters, never mind. I'm stupid American and I'm using American units. And it doesn't give me options for not American units. So, unfortunately, the words I'm saying probably make no sense. Anyways, Wailord is huge. Average trainer is 5'8". Oh. I was about to say, that is short. But then I realized I'm only like 1 or 2 inches taller than that, so I can't be talking. What's my opinion on fat phobia? I think it's stupid. Like, say what you want about people, but don't, like, actively insult them. Or, I don't know, like, you can have your own opinion about, like, I can't stop anyone from having their opinions. But there are some things that need to stay inside thoughts. There are some things you don't need to vocalize or put out there. That's one of those things. Like, if that's how you feel it on the inside, not the outside. I hope that quote doesn't get misinterpreted ever. Feel it on the inside, not the outside. Well, I have a friend who I think would absolutely laugh at that if I sent it. But they're in school. Ah! See, I hate that. I did one of those things where you become friends with people at like terrible time where it's like by the time you're getting to know them, because like they're just starting out and everything, you're about to leave. So now I have a bunch of friends that are just stuck in school. I can't do anything with them because they got more strict school schedule. Can I buy another? I can buy another Sylveon Poke plush. Do I do it? No, I already have one. That plush has actually seen something, not things. Okay, I should reword that. Yeah, basically, for my Halloween costume, I was cheap and I did the, not the protagonist, but I did my character from ZA, how I had it designed back when that happened. And I had Sylveon with me because that's like my Pokemon. So it's been out in the world. Frostmoth Poke Plush. I love Frostmoth. Context, I love moths. Specifically, domesticated silk moths. Also, I have no idea how I beat this thing. They're sad though, because like, they're domesticated. And like, the main difference between a domesticated one and a normal one is domesticated ones can't bite. And the reason why they can't bite is because they are like genetically altered or whatever to not be able to have a working mouth. Like, their mouth does not work. So once they become a moth, they only get like 3 days to live or whatever because they can't eat. So they are literally bred just for the purpose of dying, pretty much, because they can't do anything to keep themselves alive, which is sad. But it's better than them eating holes in my clothes, I guess. Oh my gosh, wait, when did this product release? This is funny. Okay, there is a Tatsugiri order up Poke plush. It is 3 Tatsugiri on like the little serving board. I think this came out. Yeah, this came out for Scarlet and Violet. Did the Pokemon Company predict one of their future Pokemon? Oh! Well, the Pokemon Company might predict one of their future Pokemon, but I did not predict that. Shiny Fracture. Nice. Oh gosh. I like that one. Okay, I gotta check the rest of these. No. No. Okay. This is funny. Okay, so just so we're clear here, that is 3 shinies in a row that have been on the right game. Which, if you want to translate that, that means the left game is like really freaking over odds. Yeah, I mean a shiny's a shiny, so. Okay, I need to check natures on these because that is something I've been ignoring. All 3 of these came from this hunt, by the way. So we got Lurantis, which is Careful, Brave Manectric, and Quirky Fracture. I should have done nature guesses on those. But like, I don't know. I didn't feel the need to. So, I am about 28, I think. 28 away from odds. Technically, that's only 14 actual Dynamax adventures because I'm counting in 2s. But that means I have 28 Tapu Finis, technically, before I hit odds. I really hope that I still get this under odds and it's on the left game, because the left game still hasn't paid out. With my field on the inside quote, yeah. That's my best quote ever. I've had other quotes actually that I think are arguably better, but I'm funny. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. So this is a listing I found that is it's a like whole bunch of Final Fantasy games, specifically every single PS2 Final Fantasy. So it comes with Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 12 Collector's Edition, Final Fantasy 12 International Zodiac Job System, Final Fantasy 7 Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy 10-2, Final Fantasy 10-2 International Last Mission, Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 11, some Japanese version, and another Japanese version of Final Fantasy 11. Basically, it comes with every English and Japanese version of a Final Fantasy game on PS2. And it was only like $175, which is a lot, but like considering you get all of that, and they all seem to be like sealed or whatever, or at least resealed good copies, like that's worth it. Like, in my opinion, if I didn't already have the games, or okay, I have all but 11 in that listing, technically, because I have 12 on PS4, which is a mix between all of those versions shown, but remastered. I have the 10 and 10.2 HD remaster, which again bundles together all of 10 and 10.2. I have Dirge of Cerberus. That hasn't been remade yet. You have one quote, which is just chicken turkey. Interesting. I hope Dirge of Cerberus gets a remake or remaster, because it deserves it, and it's the 20th anniversary. Oh, I found a listing. This is cool. This is something Collector Me wants to own. I already have 7, 8, and 9 for PS1 physically, but I found a listing that has the Japanese versions of 7, 8, and 9, all like complete, like has the case, the discs, and the manuals. I wouldn't be able to play them because of region locking, but it's only $30. Like, that's actually a deal I would consider. Wow, the whole set is genuinely just that cheap. Which is crazy, because keep in mind, an American copy of 7, even if you get the Player's Choice version, I should have gone right. I don't know why I didn't. Even if you get the Player's Choice version, it's still pretty pricey. Like, it's about the same as this full set. I want to get the Xenosaga games, because I'm a fan of Xenoblade. That's like one of my favorite RPGs. And if you want to know what Xenoblade is, it's literally Final Fantasy, but the Nintendo version. Like, that's the best way to describe it. In fact, I think they actually have more similarities than not. Yeah, anyways, Xenoblade's great. Xenosaga is technically connected. While they're not made by all the same people or even on all the same systems, Xenosaga does technically tie in to Xenoblade, and Xenogears also ties into it. Now the only issue is the only versions I see for Xenosaga are Japanese versions, which still cost a fair amount. Currently in geometry watching this live, so you can't hear. So me saying anything doesn't matter. You know what? In case you rewatch this, screw you! Put it on max volume. Cast it onto the video projector. Make the whole class watch. Hold on, I should say that in chat. I'll say that in chat. That'd be great. I will say, as a Xenoblade fan, my long-term goal is to someday own Xenosaga, like all 3 episodes of it. They're called episodes. They're not. It's not a show. It's a game. But I would love to own episodes 1, 2, and 3 physically. But the issue is, Xenosaga 1, you could get that pretty cheap. Xenosaga 2 is a bit more expensive, but you know, it's still reasonable. Xenosaga 3 is so dang expensive because that's how PS2 games work. The ones that made like 1,000,000 bajillion copies or whatever, like those are dirt cheap. But then rarer games that didn't do as well, those are more expensive. What if I start doing geometry on stream? Hold on. Okay, we're gonna do some formulas. Okay, and then shrink that down. Yeah, we'll put that there. I'll, I'll put that on screen. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. You can't really type like squared numbers or whatever. It doesn't work. You have to do like the... I think it was called a caret is what you call that. I think that's how you're technically supposed to type squared numbers. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Squared. Square is such a funny word. You know, I'm crazy enough to where I might genuinely buy all the Xenosagas, because, like, episode 1 is only, like, $30 to $40. I felt so smart the other day. I think the other day is literally yesterday. But I ordered Dirge Cerberus for PS2. And I couldn't tell from product images, but I could definitely tell when it arrived. The game wasn't in a PS2 case. It had the art and disc. It just didn't have the case. So instead it was in like your generic, cheaply molded, like GameStop generic DVD case. So what I did was I went into my closet because that's where I am. No. Anyways, I went in because I have a bunch of old PS2 games that I don't have like as part of my collection, because my collection isn't really games I own, it's games I actually care enough about to put on display on my shelf. And you know, I also have to be pretty picky with it because I don't have unlimited space or room to get another shelf right now, so I can only display so many games. Yeah, anyways, I went in and found some old PS2 games that I don't use. Just found one that had a decent case and did a case swap. So now it has a real PS2 case. Only issue is some PS2 cases came with memory card holders, which is ridiculous when you realize you did not need one memory card for every game. But otherwise that would have been cool, you know, you open the game and you have your memory card in there for that game, but no. Unless you're buying cheap ones that can only hold like 1 or 2 saves. Yeah, I didn't know if it was one of the games that had the memory card slot or one that didn't. So I just gave it one with the memory card slot because that was also the best condition case I had. $300 I can get the full Xenosaga series. Your ankle might be swollen. Dang, that sucks. Alright. Let me play. Okay, it sucks that we have a Marowak on the team. If that Bronzong even thinks about messing with my ability, I am not gonna be happy. We'll put it that way. Think it's just you again? That's fair. I mean, I'm still on the smaller end of content creation. Like, I don't expect people to show up, and I actually expect it's probably gonna be less traffic anyways, just because I know a lot of people have started going back to school. At least in my area, school has already started up. And then also there's just the fact that I haven't been doing this regularly in a while. So I don't think YouTube even knows I exist. But give it a few streams, trust me. I think that's like a thing with YouTube. Like, if you do stuff somewhat regularly to where like it can expect when you might be doing stuff again, then you typically get promoted a lot easier. But you know, if you take a break from that, yeah, that's like my one thing with streaming that like I think I'm 50-50 on. Because like on one hand, it would be really nice if this could grow, because the idea of me doing this is I want to entertain people, or at least gives people somewhere they can go to watch something. So like On that end, I want the channel to grow simply because that just means I'm reaching more people. And I'm doing, I'm getting out there, reaching people that want to watch the content. But at the same time, I like the smaller scale because I can actually reach them. Because trust me, if I had too many people, the streams would be a lot different because it would be me talking about stuff that I think would make good conversation points. I just lost this one. But it'd be like interesting conversation points. Occasionally catch one or two messages that are in the chat that's like flying by. Like, that's just how larger streams have to be. It's less of actually interacting with chat and more, I'm going to talk about something that you all have very easy ability to chat about yourselves. And your messages are getting out there, like, you kind of feel engaged that way because you're interacting, you're still responding to it. But, like, that there's a very low chance that anything is getting read. And it sucks. And then, of course, there's the possibility that, like, the person catches one message that, like, is interesting. And then they start a conversation with that. I just think it's annoying that, like, whenever I've been in, and that's another thing, like, if I am going to watch a stream, I don't know, like, if I'm watching it with the intention of interacting, never go into a big stream. I never do it. The only time I go into big stream is if I just want to treat it like it's a video. Because typically, bigger streams just have the budget to be able to do stuff that is almost like just a live version of a video. But it always sucks because every time I've tried interacting with a chat in a larger stream, they never see a single message of mine. But then the one time I say something that might even slightly be controversial or go against something the streamer doesn't believe in or doesn't agree with, whatever, that's when they actually read one of my messages. And then it becomes a whole point. It's like, oh, okay, so you can't read the 20 messages that I'm sending that are unique and actually worth talking about. But then the one time I say something that isn't 100% what you agree with, that's when you have to go off on me and actually read my message? No. Shiny hunting for me has also kind of changed. I remember, like, the whole reason I got into it was because I liked watching shiny hunting videos. Enough to the point where I decided to try it out myself. And the only person I watched for that first little bit was A-Drive. The guy that has, like, literally bajillion shinies, it feels like. Yeah, I always would go back, like, when I was playing in Sword and Shield, I would watch all his new Sword and Shield shiny reactions, even if they were all literally just Masuda method, because that's all people knew how to do at the time. But then once I got, like, Sun and Moon, I went back and watched his shiny hunts for, like, the legendaries and Ultra Beasts, which I quite enjoyed. And I really liked watching his videos, but I could tell that things were about to change. Because, like, I think it was around Legends Arceus, however you want to say it. I think it was around that time. Like, he did the marathon stream to celebrate the game coming out. He did the recap video, and he did a few shiny reactions, but he kind of started slowing down on actual Pokemon content. And then that carried on into Scarlet and Violet. Same thing, he did all the stuff, but like right after the game came out, he stopped. Like, he didn't keep shiny hunting in the games. And ZA, honestly, I don't think he even did anything for that. He might have. Don't quote me on that. I will check real quick because I don't want people to come at me. Okay, he did do some stuff for Scarlet and Violet. I'll give him credit, he did do stuff in general, but I'm not immediately seeing like any recaps of, okay, he did some stuff of like a bug only playthrough. So I appreciate that. He enjoys content, but he doesn't really take me as a person. He's just not the type of person I would. Yeah, that's like, I really liked his content when I was younger. I think that's the biggest thing. I liked his content when I was younger. Because, like, his thing, I don't want to say he overreacts to shinies, because you never know how someone reacts, but, like, every reaction is just, like, shouting into the mic about as loud as it will pick up. And it's like, dude, you just sat there and acted like you would be depressed if you got that thing shiny, and now you're just shouting at, like, it's obvious that, like, regardless of how he feels, I think he still made an effort to try to be as, like, loud and hype as he could be, because, you know, he's trying to sell it. It's content. People want to see that, and I think that's why I first got into watching him, but, like, I don't know, it just doesn't really hit the same. I like rewatching his stuff, but, like, that's about it. And of course, he was like, Pokemon's not going anywhere, but it is going anywhere. It's gone from your channel almost, and it makes me sad because he switched to doing the Celestial stuff, and don't get me wrong, it's really cool. I like that he's doing that, and I support the fact that he's going through the effort to make not only a card game, but, like, I think he made a mobile app that is like a digital version of the card game or whatever. And also they're working on like an RPG, I think. And, like, this all looks cool. I really like it. But it just makes me sad because he grew this channel off of Pokemon and shiny reactions. So it's really sad to see that's gone. Like, the only remains are, I did a shiny bug playthrough of ZA. But it's really sad because it's like, okay, you played the game, and he doesn't do anything else with it now, and it's kind of sad. Like, his channel now is just like playing ROM hacks, which are cool, they're just not my style. He has like ranking megas, and it's mostly just leaks and stuff. I feel like that's a sad thing that happens a lot. I feel like a lot of shiny hunters I like watching typically just end up going down the route of what's easy content I can push out, because, you know, shiny hunting isn't that insanely reliable. Because, you know, the content relies on you actually getting shinies. So, I see a lot of them just turn to their regularly pushed out content is just leaks and rumors. And, like, I'm sure there's an audience for that, but, like, I'm not it. Especially because, like, I won't go into any leaks and rumors here because I don't know if anyone's lurking or anything, first of all, or if anyone might be watching this back. I want to respect the people who don't want to look into that. But basically, he has a video that's like change of plan, and based on the thumbnail, it shows the names that have been tossed around for what Generation 10 games are going to be called. those are marked out with an X. And then blurred very poorly, and also doesn't matter because the title literally says these new names. It says it basically shows two potential new names for what the games are going to be called. And it's like, what? So what we've been calling them is wrong, which isn't crazy. They haven't been revealed or anything. So like, how do we know those aren't just working titles and they're going to change it? And then he goes right back to using the old name. So clearly that was just a hoax or whatever. He'd be an awful streamer because whenever someone doesn't chat, I'll probably think they left and I'll keep asking them to reply. Yeah, I feel like that's one thing I noticed with some streamers. Just, you know, they get too locked in on the view count, or they get too focused on chat. So they will back themselves into a position where they are so concerned about whether or not they're getting views or anyone's even there or anything, that like they just get to a point where they're almost frustrated sometimes because they're like, why isn't anyone here or anything? And you know, that can really backfire, because if you say anything like that out loud and someone is just there, you know, it's very easy to just discourage people from wanting to stick around. I think is an easy thing, because like, obviously not everyone is going to like you. That's just a given. There are just people out there you can't please. Haters gotta hate. But you know, there are definitely things you can do as a streamer that would actively discourage viewers more. And I think one of the biggest things is being silent forever. Like, if you stop talking because chat stops moving, that's a bad thing, because, you know, it's very easy for someone to show up for, like, getting a first impression, see if the stream is worth sticking around. And then they don't hear anything because you're silent, because chat's silent. They don't say anything because they want to make sure it's actually worth sending messages. So, you know, if their first impression is a silent stream, they might not want to stick around. Now, fortunately for me, I'm a yapper. That's just my nature. I am a yapper. So, even if no one is here, I will go... Like, I'm sure you've probably heard me. I go on random tangents. Like, I'm talking about freaking Final Fantasy, looking on eBay, talking about systems I want to get, talking about a game series I want to get, but it's expensive. Like, I just yap. Even if there's nothing actually to talk about, I'll just yap about whatever's on my mind, because it at least puts conversation out there. So if someone shows up, they know there's at least someone actually streaming and talking about stuff they want to talk about and their interests. You know, I feel like that definitely helps. This is actually a very good team. Aside from the Linoon, which is just weak anyways. Like, I think this is actually a pretty good team. Oh, I was gonna use substitute. That sucks. We do have some, I mean, Pokemon. That's an easy one. You guarantee for sure Pokemon is an interest, because why would someone who has no interest in Pokemon show up to a Pokemon stream, aside from being like a troll or whatever that just wants to be like, Pokemon sucks, these games suck, why are you playing this? Because I can. I paid money for it. I want to play the game. Let me play the game. You know, like, unless you're one of those people who just wants to spread hate and stuff, typically you only go into streams that are things you're interested in. I mean, I like RPGs. That's like my favorite genre of game. And I think that's funny too because like one of my favorite things I want to get into doing more is just playing more RPGs. How do I reply? I was talking about how like I think Pokemon is a given just because like why would you be in a Pokemon stream if you have no interest in Pokemon? The only reason I have as to why you wouldn't be interested in Pokemon but still be in a Pokemon stream is if you're intentionally trying to hate. Like, you know, be like, these games suck, why are you playing this? Like, I feel like that's the only reason you would actually go to a Pokemon stream without liking Pokemon. I really want to see about getting a copy of Brilliant Diamond. Probably just loose because I don't really care too much to get it in box because it's cheaper to get it loose. But I have Shining Pearl. It'd be nice to be able to double hunt starters and stuff in those games. Yeah, or it's your partner who's streaming. Yeah, that's another thing. Although typically even then, that's like very rare appearances. Now fortunately I do a good job at taking any friends that aren't already interested in Pokemon, at least giving them some interest. Like one friend of mine, she literally only plays like Animal Crossing style games, has no interest in Pokemon. But we started this little thing or whatever with Meryl. So she knows nothing really about Pokemon other than Meryl. And I even went out of my way to buy her a Meryl plush like the one I have, just because she really liked the Meryl plush I have. She treated it like it was an actual child. So I'm like, okay, I'll get you a child too, I guess. In one way or another. Feel it on the inside, not the outside. Victory! I need to play Kid Icarus. Yeah, I mean, I can see what I can do about that. Here's an actual child. Here you go. I'm in a funny place now because all my orders that I've done over the past like week or two, they've all arrived now. So I have nothing I'm waiting on. Which is weird because like I don't need to buy anything else. But it's just weird not having anything to expect. That would not happen. That is not happening. No. Anyways, no shiny, because this game hates me, by the way. Complains about not getting a shiny, despite getting a shiny literally one Dynamax adventure ago. The only thing I got is I would need to order, and I have the money for it. It's pretty cheap actually, just a replacement screen to fix the one that's broken on my other 3DS. But see, my issue with it is I don't know exactly where the problem is. I've heard things that it's like something with the lighting itself on the screen, and some things that are like it's the screen itself. So I almost want to just get a full bottom screen replacement kit and not just the bottom screen. Just so that way I replace everything that could be a problem from the beginning. Okay, I need to actually check this. Okay. Flippa, flippa. Okay, left seems to be the play because I can get a fire type, which will help me take on the ice and grass type. And then there's one more grass type before it's over. Theoretically, everyone should have something decent, or mostly everyone. At some point, I really want to get another 3DS, just because I like the idea of playing a lot of 3DS games at the same time. But the issue with that is they're really freaking expensive right now, because I think they're actually going up in price. So like I've seen new 3DS models that are just regular editions being listed for about the same price. I bought my special edition one a couple years ago. It's like, this is a special edition that was in like literally perfect condition. Like I don't even think the person who had it before me used it type condition. And you know, it's like I paid $300 for something. That's like in that great condition and a special edition, and now you're telling me they go for that much for a standard edition? Like heck, if I wasn't so attached to this thing, I would genuinely consider selling it and then just buying some regular units. But no. You have good reason though. I believe that. Oh, I remember one time I was in a game store, because there's a couple stores near where I live. Oh, you found Nickit? Nice. Nice. Congrats. Yeah, there's a couple stores nearby that specialize in selling like used games. Typically, you'd call these a retro game store, but they sell used games and some new ones. They have new stock as well. So it's more of just a game store that also has not stupid prices and a wide selection of used games. It's really nice. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. I went to buy a PlayStation controller at one point. Or at least I was curious in one, because I saw they had one in a color I really wanted. So I asked about it. And he was like, yeah, it's $50. What? Why is it so expensive? I guess if it's good condition. But he's like, yeah, if you're wanting this for a PS2, this is not the best thing to get. Because he said this is technically a PS1 controller, so it won't work with PS2 games. Yes, it will. the PS2 can use PS1 controllers because it uses the same ports. And it's also backwards compatible. It literally supports PS1 controllers. I think what he was intending to say was PS2 controllers specifically, they have analog buttons for the face buttons and the triggers. Triggers. They're not really triggers on the PS2, but whatever. They're pressure sensitive. You actually found the shiny Nicket? That's really nice. Congrats. Yeah, it's the stupid thing is, like, if you look up what games support it, it's like literally 5 games or something. Like, not many games actually require that you have it. And even then, none of them are games I would be interested in playing. So it would have worked perfectly fine for me. I'm gonna be so for real. So it took you a month and 1 day? Wow. Well, it's nice that you got it. I know one hunt that took me a long time was my Giratina in Platinum the first time I hunted it. That was my first full odds hunt. And when I say full odds, I mean like at the 1 in 8192 full odds. But yeah, first full odds hunt. I remember I got Platinum like a month before the school year ended. So every day, because I got to the Giratina part within like 2 or 3 days of having the game and playing it. But like every single day for like a month straight, I would play this game and just shiny hunt, do soft resets. Now, school had a rule where you're not allowed to have your phones out or any other electronics during class time. So I would have to wait until after school. But then I would like pull out my DS and just start doing resets. You're not caught yet. You're scared that you're gonna misclick and accidentally kill it. Hopefully you're fine. You shouldn't have to worry too much. Yeah, whole month. Every single day after school, I would do soft resets for it. And do soft resets, and do soft resets, and do soft resets. You're under half odds? Yeah, that's really good. So anyways, I didn't actually get the shiny at all during the school year. In fact, it actually went into summer break. And when I say it went into summer break, I mean first day of summer break, I sit down and I start doing resets. And about like 10 or 20 resets into the day, I got it. Need to go for a second? Alright, that's all good. 3DS screen replacements are fun. So many of these are trying to sell me on also getting like the touch unit, which I don't need, that works. And also the top screen, which I also don't need, that works. It's marked? Nice! That's really nice. I wish the Combuskin swapped because it's low health and it's weak. But whatever. I also think it's funny that because of fire typing, Fairy is neutral against it, but that fire typing is also what makes it bad still, because now it's weak to water. If it could have been fighting type and literally anything else that resists Fairy, that would have been great. So for the Peckish is where Mark is. Nice. Okay, so initially my plan was to sleep while I got finished, but right now I'm actually just wide awake. I think my brain has already kicked in for the day, so I think I'm just up now. Which is kind of unfortunate, but it's whatever. I wish I could get Mark's shinies through this, but unfortunately Dynamax Adventures cannot have Marks. That was an unfortunate thing to learn. Want to shiny hunt Hawlucha now? You've already started it, but you only recently got 4 in Ditto. The Combuskin just died. Honestly, that's crazy. You're mean. That was uncalled for. Oh, wait, I just lose now. No, I lose. Because one of the Pokemon is at, like, low health. I'm pretty sure. Is it the Abomasnow? It is. Oh my gosh. It's just gonna outspeed us and target the Abomasnow. I desperately need this cheer to be a heal cheer. No! Yep, I lose. It's gonna target the Abomasnow and... Oh, it didn't! Interesting. I still don't think... Yeah, no. So, how do I win in this situation? I have to hope that with everything that we have, we outspeed at least with one thing. Because I think for sure, even if we don't land a super effective attack, like the Combuskin, surely that can knock it out at this range. Only issue is I don't think anything we have is fast enough. Playing Sword and Shield right now? Nice. Nice. We love Sword and Shield. I'm Dynamaxing just because I have a fear it's going to think this is an easier target. Unfortunately, I don't have a win case of I have a priority move that can just guarantee a win. So I just have to maximize my efforts and hope that it doesn't knock out anything before I do it. Live. Yes! That was so lucky. I try my best to keep these in sync, but it's never gonna work out. Honestly, what I need to start doing because of load times is let the Switch like literally wait until it already started the animation before I hit A on the Switch 2. That's probably gonna be the best bet. Well, I have a question. Why am I seeing other players in your map in Isle of Armor? Are you online? Because Isle of Armor, the majority of the Crown Tundra and also the wild areas all function the same. So if you're online, then you'll see other players running around. Or if you're in my case, if you're on local communication and there's other people playing the game next to you or close enough, then you'll see them there as well. Because, like, if you've seen hunts, maybe not me, but, like, other people, if they do 2 hunts and it's in the wild area, typically you'll see their other game. No shiny, unfortunately. Honestly, going by how I feel right now, I think I am going to take an actual break at 80. I'll say that. Like, I'll actually throw up my Be Right Back screen and everything. But I think since I'm not actually as tired as I thought I'd be at this point, I'll probably just go all the way to 100. You've played the game, but it's new to you right now. That's fair. I assume you're like just getting back into it or something. Because I haven't touched this game in forever. And I only just started playing it recently. How? Okay, this is great because left is poison, right is grass, and then whatever. I need to also look into getting a cheap HDMI splitter. No, you mean seeing the other players? Oh. Okay. That makes sense. I'm surprised you've never seen other people before. I guess if you've ever been online, just not out in the overworlds. That makes sense. need to check what moves I have. Fire Blast versus Burning Gels. Fire Blast, of course. I'm mad. So when I got the stuff to do a whole swap operation on my Joy-Con, so context on that, I had the white OLED Joy-Cons for my Switch, but I learned about how you can like use an app on the computer to like pair them with Bluetooth, and it can rewrite the colors on everything, so you can change what color the buttons and overall color of the Joy-Con shows up as on the Switch. So out of fun, I changed all the buttons to white, and I changed the left Joy-Con to be blue, the right Joy-Con to be pink. Alright? And then I was like, wait, I have money, I'll buy cell swap stuff. So I did that. I now have white joysticks, white buttons, and the backs on the controllers I got actually did not work out as hoped. I don't remember if these came as a pair or if I bought each one separately, because the left one is like very matte finish, the right one is very shiny. The buttons also feel sticky, and like not like sticky as in like they don't work right, like I mean sticky like they genuinely just kind of feel sticky. Whatever. I think also the left shoulder button actually does stick sometimes. I think I put it in weird. Anyways, the back parts of the shells were done poorly. So, however they put the holes in there, they did a terrible job doing so. And so, the holes were actually bigger than the head of the screw that was supposed to go in them. So the screw wouldn't hold it in place. It would just fall right back out. So I ended up just reusing the original backing from the white Joy-Con because I'm like, I didn't mind. It looks cool still. Anyways, with one of the purchases I got, I don't remember which purchase it was that it came with. I got a tool set that came with all the tools I'm going to need to open it. I have tweezers now. They're cool. They're kind of sharp, but they're cool. They had a rubber tip, probably because of how sharp they are, but I lost that rubber tip, and it makes me sad. Whole story just to explain why I'm sad that I no longer have the rubber tip to tweezers. Well, those have been so useful though. Especially the little toolkit. It's also great for opening up the new 3DS XL for swapping out SD cards. Oh my gosh, wait, my numbers might be thrown off. Okay, they're not, I don't think. I just realized I was typing something, and when I type, I typically use like the arrow keys to move around easier. But I just realized that I also have the arrow keys bound to be my increment and stuff. So I gotta be careful. Gotta do more research for products I need. Yay. Here, by the way, good to know. You idiot. Why would you switch? You had the perfect thing. ankle is definitely swollen. That sucks. I'm sorry about that. Should I teach Silver Psychic or Shadow Ball? Psychic. Because Shadow Ball is good, don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure the things it's super effective against, the Dark typing already is super effective against. Because it beats Ghost, which Dark also beats, and it beats Psychic, which Dark also beats. I don't know if it has any more strengths as far as super effective. But like dark moves are typically going to cover that already. So it's better to teach it a move that's going to give you more coverage. Nice. Alright, this time I'm going to give it a fair advantage. Hopefully this delay should work out to where they kind of will go at the same time. Alright. No. 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 Alright, my throat is starting to bother me, so I think I'll only do one more. But this will at least get me to 80. I'll be able to say I did 20. And then next session, I'll hopefully be able to actually straight up get 2 odds. Silver now has Dark Pulse, Psychic U-Turn, Splat. Nice. Pretty good moves, pretty good moves. You're doing the Isle of Arm Pokedex now? Nice. I'm hoping that maybe if I just mass consume water after this, it might help. I don't know, because like water is good for you or something. There's a Vivian Sitting Cuties plush I kind of want to get, because, you know, Vivian is cool, I like it, and also, it was the subject of the first Pointless Grinds video, where I did a level 100 grind, so I have connections with it. I'm attached to it in a way. Hoping you get well and soon. Looking, sir, is your health up? Yeah. I'm fine. I think it's just like drainage or something. Mucus caught in the throat and stuff. Because health-wise, I'm fine. I already recovered from being sick. I think this is just like aftermath of being sick. I love shiny hunting so much. This is the most fun I've ever had in my life. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if it comes across as the right tone. I can't really tell. I'm very monotone. Oh, if one of the NPCs takes us, that's great. They're stupid. Okay, so I just sat through this whole process of ordering this is a while ago, but I ordered a controller from my PS2 so I could play my PS2 games, because the PS3 I have doesn't have PS2 support. And apparently through Homebrew you can get PS3s that are after the PS3 models that had PS2 support. You can homebrew them to get them to be able to enable support to emulate PS2 games, like from discs you have and everything. So that does make me kind of tempted, because then I just have an all-in-one box like I kind of wanted. But I don't know, because I literally just bought a PS2 controller, so then what point do I have in having the PS2 stuff? So that's my biggest issue as to why maybe I wouldn't do that. But it'd also be nice. I'll look into it and see how hard it is to do. Because, like, if this is something I can knock out in less than an hour, like the Wii or Wii U, then I might just go for it. Alright. NPC, do your thing. Take it. You're a genius. Might make soup as well, because I think warm things would also help me. I just don't know if we have any soup. Does that Colossal have Steam Engine? It does. So if it can somehow get hit by a water type move and survive, it could actually be one of the best things to exist. I think fire type moves also work actually, but I think it's the only one that might even have a fire move. Wait, nope, it died. One shot. I was like, wait, that might work perfectly, but no. At least that was the first death. Wait, why do you get 2 attacks? Okay, no, I'm not even upset about the 2 attacks. I'm upset that one of them got to be a Dynamax move. I think the most fair way to program this would have been, if it does 2 attacks, it's 2 normal attacks. If it's ever going to use a Dynamax attack, that's the only attack it's allowed to use. We can get Fletchling. Oh gosh, there's a island. Okay, so if you go to like where Sandy Gas spawns, like if you know where that is, like the little beaches that are through a cave, there's like a little island or whatever that has more Sandy Gas. And like pink urchin and stuff, but then up on it there's grass. I'm pretty sure if it's like sunny weather you can get Fletchling there. Help us, Trevenant. You're our only hope. Oh, Bolton's back. And the thing that's 4 times weak to water is back. Yeah, we lose. I wish the NPCs, like, I get it. They have to be intentionally dumb a lot of the time, because the whole point of them being dumb is supposed to be, oh, is it too hard to beat with NPCs? Then buy our Switch Online subscription and play with real people. But like, I wish they at least went through the effort to make them somewhat smart. Like, efficient swaps are all I need. I don't care how they play. I just need them to realize what they have is weak to the boss and that they need a switch. Anyways. This will be number 80. Technically 79 as well. I think I'm gonna wrap up after this one because I've been going for like 3.5 hours, I think. Yes, I have. That's actually really decent for me. And considering I've done 20, found the fletchling nice. But yeah, considering I got this far, hopefully next time I'll be able to hit odds. Anyways, no. Alright. You've been here like 2 hours, 40 minutes or something? Nice. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. My throat is killing me. I need to eat and take care of myself. I'll go ahead and schedule the next 2 streams just so they're up. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm dying. Yeah. Take care. Oh gosh. Typically with this position I'm in, I could go on a raid, but I don't do raids right now because they have like a redirect feature, but it's stupid and it's only for like people who are monetized, I think. Like that's how far you have to be to get that ability, unless they've started pushing it out. I don't know. Anyways. I'm gonna wrap up here. Probably won't be live later today because I need to take care of myself and sleep and stuff. But I'll definitely be live tomorrow. Not Sunday, I know that for a fact because I got stuff to do. Alright, I talk too long. I never know how to end these. I'm like really bad at doing this stuff. So typically what I do is I just keep talking until I decide to click stop so no